Chapter 4. The Core. Who Johnny Was. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good. Luke 6:45. Touched by the Great Spirit. When Frank O. Chapman addressed the West Virginia Historical Association on April 20, 1967, his topic was Johnny Appleseed. As the great-great-grandson of Johnny's half-brother, Nathaniel Chapman, he had much to say about the missing pieces in Johnny's story. For example, Frank Chapman provided an insight into Johnny's early years in Longmeadow. He said that Johnny, even in his childhood, loved nature and spent much time along the streams and in the woods. Pet squirrels, rabbits, and birds fearlessly came to him at his whistle or call. Information like this, passed down through the immediate family, seems closer to the truth than stories about rescuing mosquitoes, taming wolves, and sleeping with bears. It also helps us get a fuller picture of who Johnny Appleseed really was. Frank Chapman also spoke about how the American Indians regarded his famous relative. During the time of the most heated conflicts between pioneer settlers and American Indians, he explained, Johnny managed to earn the respect of everyone. Johnny knew many Indian chiefs and spoke at least 3 of the tribal languages, said Chapman. He added that Johnny was so respected by the American Indians that they referred to him as a white man who had been touched by the Great Spirit. These simple words reveal something essential about the core of Johnny Appleseed. He was a man of God, touched by the Great Spirit, and so respected among the American Indians that he was invited to join them at their tribal councils. Discovering Swedenborg. The story of how John Chapman discovered the teachings of Emanuel Swedenborg is very much entwined with the story of how the new church, that is, the church based on Swedenborg's teachings, came to America's shores. It begins with James Glenn, a successful Scottish plantation owner who was sailing from his sugar plantation in South America to England. The captain of the ship, noticing that Glenn seemed to be free of religious prejudices, gave him a copy of Swedenborg's Heaven and Hell. A close friend of James Glenn records what Glenn told him about his experience. As soon as Mr. Glenn had read the work and well considered its contents, he was all astonishment, first at the nature of the information which that book conveys, and in the next place, at the goodness of the divine providence which had so unexpectedly brought him into such a peculiar situation, that while sailing on the surface of the great deep with an abyss of water beneath him, his eyes were opened to behold an abyss of divine truths above and around him. That day Mr. Glenn declared to be the happiest day of his life.